What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. Now, with this video, we are jumping into the Death of Doctor Strange Avengers one-shot. And if you haven't been keeping up with the Death of Doctor Strange, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on in this line. Now, this one shot is really going to be demonstrating what happens when there is no longer a Sorcerer Supreme. With Doctor Strange being murdered, the barrier that protects this world is now down. We saw the arrival of the three mothers. And as they took on our Avengers, as they did their test of our planet, they found out that this planet is very full of magic. And because of that, it will be something that their child will love to eat. And so as the world prepares for this invasion, as they prepare for the child, they also have to deal with the fallout of what might be coming through, finding its way to their planet and causing mayhem. And so with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we're jumping some years in the past. In Wakanda, we're picking up at the first meeting of the Illuminati. The first meeting of all the people that could come together and make the world a better place. And we get a very interesting conversation between Iron Man and Doctor Strange. And Iron Man is telling Doctor Strange that while Black Panther may have invited him here, he is not really sure if he can trust him. Because while Thor may be a god, at the end of the day, he is just a simple guy with a hammer. But when it comes to Doctor Strange, it is so much more deeper than that. Because what Doctor Strange represents is a world that doesn't have any rules. And that is simply something Tony Stark would never allow, let alone be able to comprehend that ever making sense. Now, Iron Man was having this conversation more or less to get Doctor Strange on his side. Because right now, Black Panther T'Challa does not trust Tony Stark. Considering what they have underneath their feet in Wakanda and what Iron Man's suit is made out of, he doesn't really have the trust of the Wakanda people yet. But that's what's going to take us to present day. In the middle of the Everglades in Florida, we have an envoy from Agumon, and they appear to be toting some kind of nuclear device. And as they go through this swampy land, as they are traversing the landscape, they come upon a great portal, the Nexus portal, because this is the gateway to all realities. And they have been sent here with one mission. And that mission is to destroy this gateway. It's to destroy it so nothing else is able to come through. Because those individuals that have come through, they have come here not to attack anybody, not to prepare for some great battle with humans. They have come here for sanctuary because they are running from the three mothers and the child. And so believing that destroying the nexus to all realities will stop the three mothers, will stop the child from making their way here. They set this bomb only for something to start coming out of the portal with glowing red eyes. What appears to be Juggernaut has come out and is laying waste, punching, crunching, stepping on anybody that is in their way. Now, picking us up in New York City, we have all the Avengers sitting around, and Captain America and Captain Marvel, they're having a discussion about what to do moving forward. Because the three mothers, they really did have a big impact on the Avengers. And Cap is most worried about Tony Stark right now, because as it stands, he just feels completely helpless to the entire situation. No matter how advanced his technology is, no matter how great it is, when dealing with forces of this magnitude, Iron Man just isn't that big of a player in the game. At least when we're talking about hand-to-hand combat. Trying to combat them on the battlefield, Tony Stark is one of the last individuals that you need by your side. You need him working in the background, trying to devise some kind of other plan that doesn't put him directly in the line of fire. Not only that, Thor has been sulking for some time as well. After this battle, after finding out about the barrier, that Doctor Strange hadn't told him about this, he thinks to himself he might have been able to prevent the War of the Realms, or at least change some events of it. Not only that, Captain Marvel, she was remembering what one of the sisters had told her. As they left through their portal, they let all of them know that the child would be coming. And so they know this is a warning. They know there's something bigger, something worse than those three mothers are going to be coming sometime, and it's going to be soon. Now, Black Panther, he chimes in because right now he is in Antarctica. He is keeping eyes on Umar's forces, with the three mothers making their way into this realm. With them testing this, it appears that the three magical kingdoms that were transported here, they are preparing for battle, but they are not preparing to fight humanity. In fact, they are actually looking to humanity, to the Avengers, to our heroes, for some kind of protection. An extra added layer. Hopefully they will be able to defeat whatever is on its way. And so with everything being just a little bit uncertain right now, the one thing Black Panther is very certain of is these envoys have been making their way to Florida. Some kind of energy surge in the Everglades. And so what he is asking them to do, them being the closest that he knows, he is asking them to go investigate and find out what this energy is. And so our team, they gear up and they get boots on ground. But arriving at this portal, all they see is individuals thrown to the side, even some individuals looking squished, looking dead. There has been some kind of battle here. And as they observe a little bit further, they see that someone came running through here. Someone was in a big hurry to get away, because these guys weren't necessarily murdered, they were just in the way. And as Tony looks around, he finds himself face to face with this nuke, saying that it went missing from the Soviet Union back in the 70s. Right now, he is the only one with the expertise to be able to defuse this bomb before it goes off. Now, Captain Marvel, she could technically absorb this blast, but she may be radioactive for a couple centuries if she were to do so. And in the midst of this conversation, Captain Marvel, she picks up a distress. Some kind of invasion happening in downtown Miami. And they are saying that it is Juggernaut, not just one, but many. And so leaving Tony Stark behind, the rest of the team, they head off to downtown Miami. And as they get closer, they see some kind of antenna forming on a rooftop, some kind of spire that is forming. With Captain Marvel saying to wait for her signal, we see Thor jump into the fray, and this fight is underway. Now back in the Everglades, we have Iron Man attempting to defuse this nuke. But while he is attempting to do this, what looks to be some kind of centipede, some kind of creature, starts crawling up and it goes into his suit. Immediately having to activate his suit, he is jettisoned out of it. And with Iron Man sitting here with swamp all in his mouth, he is finally starting to piece together what is happening here. Because you don't bring this kind of weaponry unless you're afraid of something that's going to come out of that gate. And back with our Avengers, they are doing everything they can to take on these juggernauts. But it appears that they are losing in this fight. And Thor, he is getting thrown around. And that is only because Thor has been holding back. Not sure if these things have a soul, not sure if they are alive, not sure if they're clones or what is going on. After Captain Marvel blows through one of them, this is when Thor recognizes that these are just constructs. And that means Thor does not have to hold back. And he starts unleashing on some juggernauts, and he is ripping them apart. Now in the midst of this battle, Captain Marvel, she begins to recognize that these are the Crimson Bands of Sidorak. With them in constant communication with Iron Man, he recognizes what's happening and he tells them if that is the case, then you guys don't have to worry about not letting loose. You can just go haywire and take these things down. With them simply being a spell, now you only have to find out who is casting this spell. And that's just not Iron Man's lane. Right now, he is focused on this nuke. And Tony at this point, he's just so done. With acid-spitting magic worms crawling into his suit, he's recognizing that they need to take back this situation. And Tony Stark is sitting here looking at this portal, questioning what he is going to do next, but he already knows. With him picking up the nuclear weapon, we see him walk through the portal. And as he walks through, he sees the absolute chaos. What Doctor Strange had to deal with on the daily. Something that Iron Man just had not comprehended up until this moment. But continuing down the path, it brings him into the Crimson Cosmos. But with Iron Man arriving here, the only thing he finds is one person left alive. And the chances of survival at this point are almost zero. And so this person is fading quickly. With skeletons, bones, everything surrounding them is just dead. With Iron Man picking up the body, being instructed to go to the spire that is nearby. What she refers to as the Morning Spire. Now Iron Man has brought her here, believing that it might help her heal in some way. But this is to tell a story. To warn all survivors of what happened here, because this land, it was tainted by the three sisters and that child. They came through here and they destroyed everything. Now there were no survivors left here on this place, on this plane of existence, to hear the warning. That was until Iron Man showed up. And with the Morning Spire going off, Iron Man is sunken into a daze, some kind of trance, where he sees the story for himself. Now what we are shown is the survivor of Sidorak, a child born in a pocket of stolen time. Disgraced and discarded, she found her tribe among the scattered, ageless inhabitants of this realm. And it wasn't long before she discovered the Crimson Bands, the Sidorak's greatest weapon. It was all hers to command. And so when the three sisters came, she did everything she could to fight them off. Some believing that she is Sidorak himself, but she was merely robing herself in what she feared the most. And that's why we have an army of juggernauts. But at the end of the day, she lost this fight. All who dwelled in the Crimson Cosmos had perished. And for the great Sidorak, whose name is never spoken, only sobbed, using the last of his magics, the dreaded Lord, he bravely abandoned his throne and fled to the flickering realms. And this is when he realizes that it is simply a kid trying to scare off the monsters. Realizing that this is no true threat to humanity, that in fact this could be an ally and a warning to the entire world to prepare them for what is coming. And so Iron Man, putting full power into his thrusters, he takes off. He heads out so he can stop the Avengers from fighting this hero, from fighting the last survivor. Now when it comes to the Avengers, they are still trying to take down this antenna. The same Morning Spire that Iron Man was just at. The one that allowed him to see what was coming. And with the Avengers trying to destroy this, our young survivor is doing everything she can to stop them. She doesn't want to hurt them, but at the same time, she has to let this world know what is on its way. And with this battle raging on, we see Thor coming out of nowhere, and he cuts right through the Morning Spire. Cutting through it, it is severely damaged. Now Iron Man at this point, he's had his head clapped, which means he can't hear a single thing anybody is saying. But with Iron Man getting back into range, with him getting communication with Carol Danvers, he is letting them know that they have to stop this fight, that they have to stop trying to take down this antenna, that it is nothing more than a simple warning to everybody. And we see Iron Man, he is whirling up Mjolnir, getting ready to throw it down and destroy this entire thing. With Captain Marvel not being able to make it in time to stop him, with nobody being able to get in contact with him because he can't hear anybody. We see that hammer let loose, and right before it hits the survivor, Iron Man jumps into the way, pushing the young girl to the side. We see Iron Man take the full brunt force of Mjolnir. With it smashing down on his back, we see his entire suit is shattered into pieces. And with everybody coming down and checking on Tony Stark, he has made it through this ordeal. Though he is pretty badly beat up, probably needs an ambulance, his suit is completely destroyed, but he is still alive. And this is when he tells our young survivor that it's okay to come out. Since he took his suit off, it is time for her to do the same thing. And Tony explains to them that this is all a wake. This is a headstone that is being formed so it can warn the entire world of what is about to happen. And so Tony Stark, guiding her over to the morning's fire that is now completed, she touches her hands against the wall, and the message goes out to everybody just like it did to Tony Stark. It is broadcasted to the entire world that the child is coming, and it will leave absolutely nothing for the vultures. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So far, I really have been enjoying the death of Doctor Strange. It has been quite an interesting storyline so far. I know there's speculation that he's just gonna come back and be alive at the end of all this. And honestly, I'm kind of okay with that as well. Because this is a very unique way of going about killing Doctor Strange. Having just a week of his past being able to come to this time era and help solve his death. Meanwhile, you have the Avengers, you have the Doctor Strange Academy that are all dealing with the aftermath of this effect, of having that veil dropped on the entire world. They have been opened up to the three mothers and the child. Now, the three mothers, we have seen a little bit of their abilities. We see a little bit of what they are capable of. And if the child has any kind of close power to them, it is going to be one heck of a catastrophic event. And so this story, it really does have tons of potential. No, this is just a kind of side-off, a spin-off of it. And we will see this continued in the death of Doctor Strange, issue number 3. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And until the next breakdown.